Hey beautiful, welcome to Her Success Tribe. I'm Rebecca Lockwood, motivational success coach and founder of Her Success Tribe. I'm so happy that you found us over here. Today is packed full of inspiration and motivation just for you, so enjoy. If you love this, then head over to hersuccesstribe.com to get the latest videos and motivation straight to your inbox. Enjoy. So welcome, Gemma, to the podcast.
Hiya.
I'm so excited to have you on today. So Gemma is a soul alignment coach, but I'll let you take over and explain to us what you do and how you work with your clients.
Hi everyone, I'm Gemma. As a soul alignment coach, what I do is I help women to align with their soul path. I help them to remove any blocks to their own awesomeness. Awesome is a word that I use quite a lot because I think that it's a word that aligns very much with how soul works. On my own journey, by trade originally I'm a medium. I've worked as a medium for the last 10 years. And 4 years ago, I decided to leave my full-time job in a school and concentrate fully on being a medium. And then as my path developed, what I found is that once people have had a reading, that's it. You have no other impact on them. And being a medium is great and passing on those messages. But one of the reasons that I trained as a soul coach was to see that transformation, to be there with them along that journey. And that's what I do with my clients. I see them from the moment that they come to me. And normally I work in 12-week packages. And seeing that transformation from, I suppose, looking at it in symbolic sense, seeing them going from the caterpillar to the butterfly is absolutely fantastic. What we tend to do is I start by linking into their soul and showing them how to do that as well, because I feel that that is really, really important. And just seeing what they've been through that's blocked their way, seeing if they are missing any parts of themselves that has come along through trauma or different things like that. In my own path, I went through quite a traumatic experience at the age of 15 that really shaped my life. And that was another reason that I decided that I wanted to be a coach, so that I can help people go from those places of trauma or those places of negative upbringings, even though I never had a negative upbringing, going from those places to seeing what they're meant to be doing.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So for those people then that are new into the kind of, I suppose, woo-woo kind of stuff, what would you like to explain to us what a medium is and how a medium works?
So a medium is somebody that connects with those in spirit. They pass on messages from their loved ones in spirit, or from their guides, or in my path, I also pass on messages from higher beings as well. I know that not everybody believes in that kind of thing, but the people that tend to be drawn to me are people that do.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't not believe it, but I'm not necessarily a big believer either. I'm kind of on the line, I'd probably say. So I'm the kind of person who I'm just like, well, whatever it is, isn't it? So regardless of whether I believe it or not, it is what it is. So how, like, it really intrigues me in that sense to think, like, how would you ever start, like, what would happen for you to think and start believing in that kind of thing? Like, was there a time in your journey where something happened and you were like, well, that's obviously what I now believe? Does that make sense?
I was able to talk to spirit when I was little, and it was only by the fact that I had one incident on the stairs when I was younger, and my mum said, "Who are you talking to?" And I was like, "I'm talking to that little boy there." My mum was like, "But there's nobody there." And I was so insistent that this boy was there, and that is when one memory that I can remember of when my journey started. But then as you get older, you tend to get to about the age of 7, 8, and outside influences come in and you tend to lose it for a while. And then I didn't get it back really until I was at university, but I could still sense things I just couldn't see.
Yeah. Okay. So this is, oh, I always get goosebumps when we talk about this kind of thing. So I'm just going to ask something that just pops into my head. You don't have to answer it if you don't want, but how old were you when you first experienced this?
I would probably say about 4.
Okay. And so, because I know, like, and I'm not saying I believe this, you probably want to put me in the eye if we were sat together.
I wouldn't.
But you know, like people say, don't they, like when you're young you have like an imaginary friend. So what kind of, obviously there must be a distinguished feeling between what people would say is that and what you know isn't that.
Yeah.
How would you describe that to someone?
To be honest, with my own beliefs, and obviously everybody believes what they want, I don't believe in imaginary friends. I believe that in some extent the child is picking up on those in spirit.
Yeah, because you just reminded me of a time when I was young and I used to imagine I had this friend, but it felt like more than that. And I've never actually thought about it until you just said this now. So that's the reason why I asked that question, just because like I don't know myself how I would distinguish the difference. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really, I mean, we could talk about this for hours, couldn't we? It's so intriguing and so interesting. And like the more you talk, the more it digs deeper and a little deeper. So what happened then? So you started, you know, with this experience when you were at 4, and then outside influences came upon you when you started to get a little bit older. What happened then? So you went to school and you didn't really go back to kind of thinking about it, or?
I used to hear somebody on the stairs every night when I lived in a different house, and I would go and check and there would be nobody there. And then I'd tell my mum and she was like, "There's nobody there." And that would go on for years and years, but I can't say that I actually saw anything. It was more a feeling.
Yeah.
This feeling all the time. And it wasn't until, like I said, when I went to university that I actually saw anything again.
So what happened then? Tell us all about it.
I saw a man standing in the doorway of the house I lived in when I was away at university. And there was definitely no way that man could have been there because it was a house full of 4 girls. And it was 3 o'clock in the morning and he was very old. And none of us had been drinking. I do have to say that. There was no alcohol involved.
No drugs.
No drugs either.
No weed.
Nothing like that at all.
So what happened? Did it not scare you? Like, how did it make you feel?
That scared the hell out of me. And then I don't want to see. I don't mind sensing. I don't mind seeing them in my mind, but I do not want to see physically outside of myself. And I have a couple of times since, but most of it is them communicating with me through talking and things like that.
Wow. And okay, so it must have been quite a scary thing to experience. What point did you get to where it became not scary and more of a gift?
It wasn't really until I had, because I delved into the paranormal a little bit after university, and I became a paranormal investigator for a little while. And then I had my son in 2009, and it was quite a traumatic birth. And then it seemed to go up a notch, and it was like, okay, I really need to start working with this now. So even though I'd been working with it a little while before that, it wasn't until I had him that the floodgates started to open.
Yeah. So explain to me what you mean when you say up a notch and floodgates.
I started to sense spirit in the house. I started to sense spirit around him. He would do random things, like he would wave at nothing,
Oh,
or he'd
wow.
be in at the corner. And then I would get little messages about people, or I would see things like I would see, say, an accident coming, or I would dream of something, and I'd never had anything like that before. And then these things would turn out to be true. So it's time that I start channeling it and start working with it.
Yeah, so this is crazy. So I recently started reading a blog by, I can't remember her name, but it's all about this sort of thing. And astral projection came through on one of the blogs. And so for those who are listening, astral projection, do you want to explain what astral projection is? This the same sort of thing that I'm thinking about, astral projection? Or is that kind of, would you say that's something different? It's not on the same lines?
Astral projection is different, because astral projection, you sort of leave your body and you go on like a little journey, I would say, more so with astral projection. Whereas what I was seeing is more, it was more in a dream, and it would be like a premonition.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm talking about astral projection is because, to me, I suppose I'm tarnishing it all with the same brush, which isn't right of me. But I think it's because I get this blog through and I see the messages about the same sorts of things in the same email. And the reason why I brought it up is because I remember as well, when I was young, I used to not be able to get to sleep some nights because I'd actually wake up above myself, and I wouldn't be able to get back. I wouldn't be able to get back into myself to open my eyes. And that sounds crazy, especially from someone who, like I said, I'm just on the border. I'm not necessarily here nor there.
Yeah.
But this is something that is real, it's something that I experienced. And so, like, it's just, I don't know why I thought I should bring that up in this conversation, but it just kind of, it's just it's kind of unanswered questions, isn't it? Like, who's ever going to have the answer for it? And it's such an interesting subject for me, and I'm sure for you as well, with you working in that sort of thing. So tell us then about this journey then. So you had your son, and things kind of came up a notch, and then you started channeling the things through. So, like, what was the actual steps that you took to, like, I know you say you thought about saying, right, okay, I've seen these things, I'm experiencing these things, I'm feeling these things around me. What was that actual step into actually channeling it? Like, what happens?
I joined a development circle to give me the right tools that I needed to channel, but to do it safely, because there's a difference between channeling energy and not knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
In a way that's going to keep you safe as well, and not bring other things in. Because when you connect with low level energies, it's a completely different thing to connecting with those of a higher level that want to pass on a message.
Okay, so when you talk about energy,
Yeah.
do you mean spirits? Is it like the same word but same meaning? Sorry. Okay, so wow, it's just so interesting. So explain then, if you was to come across someone who was a bit like me and who wasn't really here nor there but wanted to learn more about it, what advice would you give to that kind of person?
I would say, to start off with, to join some kind of development circle, be around people that are already using the gift and learn from them, because that's what I did. And that's why, even though I'm doing a lot less readings now because I'm concentrating more on my coaching, I still teach as well. I run development groups and workshops and things like that to help people to channel, because I do believe it's really important. And there are people out there that are meant to be doing that work.
Yeah, definitely. So I know a lot of my clients have worked with Reiki before. Would you say that that's a similar sort of thing? Because I know that's a lot to do with energy. But again, I don't have a full understanding of what Reiki is. Is it the same sort of thing? How would you explain it?
They are slightly different because a mediumship channels the energy of spirit, whereas Reiki is a healing modality.
Okay.
So they channel healing energy through them using the Reiki symbols to help unblock anything within the physical body. But what you find is once people have been attuned to Reiki, they are more open to spirit
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it's like that, any blocks that they've got regarding that, it's like Reiki removes it.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. It's just so fascinating. I just want to sit here and just be like, mouth open. So, how you mentioned then that the people that you work with are attracted to you because they're very open to the kind of spirit side of things and the energy. Oh, how would someone know that you'd be the right person to work with? So, what kind of things would they be experiencing in their own lives for them to think, right, Gemma's going to be the right person for me to go and speak to at this time in my life?
In a coaching way or in a mediumship way?
Both, if you offer both as a service.
Okay, so for mediumship, what tends to happen is it's really weird because there's a lot of signs that people get. So like somebody might mention my name that's worked with me before, and I suppose it works the same in a coaching thing as well. And then somebody else might mention it, and then they go on, say, the internet, and my website comes up and things like that. And then what I do with that is I encourage them to come along to the groups, or if they want to book a reading, then obviously they'll come to my house or they'll have one online. But with coaching, what tends to happen is a lot of people come to me through readings for me to coach them. So a lot of my work, my coaching work, does come from readings, but it also comes online from my my soul evolving souls group that I've got as well. So that's all for people who want to focus more on their passions, focus more on their soul path as well. So I've got a spiritual development group and an evolving souls group that both work slightly differently.
Yeah, amazing. So, so do you have like a specific pain point that somebody might be experiencing? So, for example, I know that if someone came to me and said, I feel really stuck and overwhelmed in my business right now, I need someone to help support me move to the next step, I know that I'd be the right person to work with them. Have you got, I'm just thinking for our listeners, for them to know that you'd be the right person for them to work with.
For me, it's people who are experiencing blocks at every step. Everything that they try to do, there is a block. Every time they try to say move forward with their business or with a relationship, it feels blocked. They have so much baggage to do with the past that it comes up as like a trauma. So those kind of people tend to be drawn to me. So if they've got lots of past experiences to do with, say, a huge traumatic event, I find that those people are drawn to me because they want to use that to help somebody else, which is what I've done. The experience that I had when I was younger, I've used that to help other people to move forward in their path. And it tends to be people that know that they are there to heal others in some way or another, whether that's through their artwork. I've got quite a few people working with me at the moment that are channeling their healing through their artwork to help others. And I've got other people that are, most people tend to be on some kind of healing journey and tend to be healers that are trying to help other healers. So it's those kind of people that tend to be drawn to me.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much. So where is someone best to find you then, to contact you about discovering kind of how you could build a coaching or a mediumship relationship?
Probably the best place to find me would be Facebook. My page is Gemma Garbett Soul Alignment Coaching, or my website is www.soulalignmentcoach.com.
Okay, super. Thank you so much for letting me pry into your world and the work that you do. It's been really insightful. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for joining us, beautiful. Remember that you've got this, and if you need any support from a tribe of awesome women, head over to hersuccesstribe.com and join the community. Make that choice that your time is now. You can achieve anything you set your sights on. Yes, you can. I will see you on the other side.